Hey, everyone, it's Isaiah. Welcome. It started a little abruptly here. Um, so I'm coming live today with an amazing guest and friend. Hi, Cindi.
Hi.
So Cindi Buenzli Gertz, and I'm coming live at an impromptu time. We kind of planned it, but I forgot to announce it. So, if you're catching us live, that's good. You will see the live icon somewhere. If you're not, then you will catch the replay. The information is still valid, so that's good. And we are discussing these free or complimentary, as you say. I love the complimentary word. Very, very posh. Masterclass. You call it a masterclass or a workshop called Not Your Mother's Menopause that she is organizing on International Women's Day this Friday, March 8th. So I'm really excited because I'm the person that likes talking about things people don't talk about, mostly women, and menopause is on top of that freaking list of things we don't talk about. So if you want to know more about menopause, I think there is no best expert at this minute than Cindi, because she's been doing it for a freaking long time. Can you please tell us a little bit of how you became a menopause how do you say that? People who talk to menopause.
Right. Oh wow. Thank you for those accolades, Isaiah. Yeah, I think what has qualified me to be an expert is my
Expert, that's the word.
10 plus year journey through perimenopause, which started when I was in my late 30s. And I was told by the medical community, you're too young. And so I was dismissed. And I was like, what? No, I know something is changing in my body. I'm super sensitive. So I knew that. And I went to my mom to talk to her about it. And as lovely as she is, and she was always willing to talk about anything with my siblings and I as we were growing up, sex, menopause, you name it. She was open to it all, but she just couldn't remember much about her experience. So,
Mm-hmm.
I was confounded by that. So, I started digging in some books. This was a while ago. So it was like, it wasn't when we were automatically going to Google already.
No Google.
Right. Google. I don't think I even heard of Google yet. So I felt really, really alone. And because of that, I decided to start. I already had a women's circle. I decided to start a circle specifically for menopause called Inspired Menopause. And of course, Not Your Mother's Menopause is supposed to be exactly the opposite experience of what our moms went through. And that's the introductory event. That's like, I would characterize it as a sample women's circle, you know? So women who
I'm going to interrupt just for a minute,
yeah,
just
please.
to tell everyone that they can find the link to register for this event either in the comments or in the description of the video. You can go on.
Yeah, great. So I'm speaking to those women like me and other women who've been in my circle who've heard those same words, like, "Oh, you're too young," or I know way back women used to be told, "Oh, this is stuff. These changes, it's all in your head." And we even have celebrities coming out now and speaking up. Drew Barrymore is one who is saying she's had a similar experience where she just felt dismissed.
Yeah.
So if a celebrity can feel dismissed, what about the rest of us? Right.
Yeah, and there's so many ways that women go through this. I mean, my mom had a surgical menopause, so everything was removed, but the experience, she still had to go through it. It's not like you take the parts away and then nothing happens. Then for many generations, then everybody had hormones. Now they don't. At least in Europe, many women are not offered hormones. I had to go through a series of gynecological things last month. And I've been asked repeatedly, how come you did not take hormones? And I'm like, I'm sorry, they weren't offered to me. So it's, again, they weren't offered to me. Where could I get this information? And mostly from a non-medical person, because medical persons have their own agendas.
Yeah.
So for me, that's one of the things that when you discussed with me and said, "Would you like to be an ambassador for not your mother's menopause?" I said immediately yes, because I think that's the main difference, is that you're not a doctor. You're just a fellow traveler on this road, right? And that's what we need.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So the medical community, and they know menopause is a hot topic right now, so they're all over it too. However, they get very little training in menopause. There are only a number of people, at least in the U.S., that are certified medical professionals in menopause, which isn't a medical condition. Still, we
Yeah.
we want to be able to go to our providers and get information and get advice, right? But it's definitely not a medical condition. It's something natural that women have been going through forever.
Mhm.
And half the population at some point or another will go through menopause. And for the most part, it's naturally, but unfortunately for some people, there are reasons to, that they're going to have a medical menopause. But
Of
like you
course.
said, so just because you're physically, your womb and your ovaries are removed doesn't mean you don't have this initiation into your wise womanhood to go through, because there are all kinds of things happening as we enter this stage that are emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. It's not just a physical process.
No, and it's not a one-off. That's why
Right.
I think that your program, the Inspired Menopause program, it makes so much sense, because it's not a 5-minute thing. Let's do this, and then okay, let's keep on living. For me, it's been a freaking process, and it's not even finished. I thought it was, but no, it's not. So it's like, and bits are finished, but then other bits keep showing up, and that it's like, yeah, it is a journey. And that's why walking alongside other women and discussing this as we go makes so much sense,
Yeah.
because it's yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah, there's a couple things about that. I mean, who better to learn from than the other people who are going through it and experiencing it? And we all go through it at different times. You can go through perimenopause, because peri means around menopause. So menopause, and you probably already know this, but I'll define it for the audience in case they
Sure.
don't know, is when you've gone 12 consecutive months without a period. So, that's just 1 year, but perimenopause can last a dozen or more years, or it can be as short as, 2 to 4 months. Every woman is different. And still, I feel so sad when I hear the women say, "Oh, I just want to be able to breeze through that." Or, "I'm on the other side now, so I don't want to talk about that, or I don't want to deal with that
Mm.
anymore." And you know, I'm speaking to those women who do want to lean in and talk about it, because it's just a golden opportunity,
Yeah.
in my opinion, to reflect on your life and to decide what you want to create. What do you want that process, that transition to look like? Because you might go through a lot of stuff like I did, but you don't have to suffer through it.
It is not the end of anything. It's just a doorway.
Right. I love that. That's a
It's
portal.
it's like women. We have portals as women, I think, a lot, and this one is one. And the just for the sake of uh, fun, let's put it this way. Your definition of 12 months without bleeding, that's menopause. I had 2 years without bleeding, and then I started bleeding again for 2 years.
Yeah.
So when
You
was my menopause? Kind of,
right.
So because there are so many factors, there's medical or anatomical, physical factors, there's emotionals, there's spiritual factors, there's so many aspects to it happening, and so many gifts. So yeah, it's a big thing, and I think that it is literally very crucial for any woman that feels that they want to talk about it, to exchange with other women and to walk for a while. It's not like a 5-minute thing.
Right. And that's what Not Your Mother's Menopause is all about, actually. You just told me a story that I hadn't heard before. I have a story. All the women I work with, we each have a story around our perimenopause and menopause. And every single one of those stories is going to be different. And it's time for us to bring menopause out of the shadows and into the light. And I think one of the ways that we do that, and we change this legacy around menopause that's been one of, oh, just go over there and be invisible and be alone and be quiet
for the rest of your life, by the way.
Right. Right. It's
Because
time
you're
for
now
us to
useless.
change that. It's
Absolutely.
time for us to change that legacy. And I think the place we start is just come together and we tell our stories about, well, what was handed down to us as our story, and what story do we want to create going forward?
Awesome. So let's go into some details. So the Not Your Mother's Menopause sample circle, let's call it this way, is happening on Friday, March the 8th. So International Women's Day.
Yep.
What times? So I have the UK times because I'm in Europe. So I remember the 4 p.m. UK. Do you have the US times, please?
Right. So the US times are going to be 8 a.m. if you're in the Pacific, 10 a.m. if you're Central Time like me, or 11 a.m. if you are in the Eastern Time Zone.
Okay. And so 4 p.m. UK, once again, Australian ladies, we're really sorry. We didn't think about writing down the time, but you will find your time if you want to join. And again, it's complimentary, aka free. And it's going to be not only a sample circle for you to see how the way Cindi works with and travels with women going through perimenopause and menopause, but also an introduction to your program called Inspired Menopause, right?
Yes,
so
that's correct.
In just 1 minute, how long is your program?
Right. So Inspired Menopause is a 3-month program. It's a women's circle. And in Not Your Mother's Menopause, I am going to talk about the 4 keys to a joyful journey through perimenopause and menopause. And that is exactly what everyone receives when they sign up for Inspired Menopause.
Awesome. Awesome. Just also, I wanted to say that we will be seeing a lot of each other since we are doing on my podcast, Isaiah's Inspiring Evenings, a series about menopause. And so for my audience, you will be hearing and seeing a lot of Cindi. And I'm really, really happy about that because it needs to be discussed in a very factual and down-to-earth way. I remember saying that when I was pregnant, actually, they wanted to give me some medications. And I said, listen, I'm not ill. I'm not sick at this minute. I'm just giving birth. This is not a disease. I'm fine. Some women have difficult pregnancies, of course. Mine wasn't, thankfully. So I think it's the same for menopause. We have to remember that despite there being some conditions that might be problematic or might need some help from the medical profession, it starts with how do I feel, and with me, basically, and with sharing my experience with other women, so as also to feel less alone and less like a weirdo, because actually half of the population is going through that. So
yeah, you're not alone.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. Do you want to go longer, or shall we not? Whatever. I think we should keep it short and sweet. We didn't even agree on anything beforehand. So
no, I think this is great. Just a little taste of what women will receive when they come into Not Your Mother's Menopause. It is my intention for every woman to feel like she's been seen and heard and held in loving acceptance. And I'm going to say more about what that means to me, what acceptance means to me and the other women on Friday. So I hope I will see you there.
Well, I'll be there, but we both hope to see you there. So sending lots of love to all of you, sending lots of love to you, Cindi, too, and hoping to see you in Not Your Mother's Menopause this Friday, March the 8th. 4 p.m. UK, and all the US times you will find if you listen to the replay, because I don't remember, but be there. This is we forgot to say that this is a once a year thing. It's not like if you miss it now, you have to wait for another year. So why miss it, basically?
Exactly.
Come and join us. It'll be very, very amazing. I love the idea of acceptance. Thank you very, very much, Cindi, for sharing this moment with me.
Yes, thank you, Isaiah. Thank you for this sneak peek into Not Your Mother's Menopause and Inspired Menopause.
Thank you very much. Bye.